Two enormous explosions shook Beirut, Lebanon today. Nearly 80 people are dead and more than 3,000 wounded, but the death toll has been rising by the hour. And tonight, Lebanon's prime minister is vowing to hold responsible whoever is to blame for the explosions. Moments ago, President Trump said it was a bomb of some kind without giving details. Here's CBS's Chris Livesay.
Just after 7 p.m. local, the enormous explosion rocked the port city, sending shockwaves miles away at sea. The U.S. State Department is warning about toxic gases released in the blast, telling all to stay indoors. The source of the catastrophe? Explosive material seized years ago and stored at the port, according to the Lebanese government. But what sparked it is yet unknown. Terrorism has not been ruled out.
Houses, buildings, dead bodies in the streets, injuries. Hospitals couldn't accept more injuries and bodies because they were full. Beirut is a destroyed city. It is like a real war zone.
And tonight, the Prime Minister vowed that those responsible will pay the price. Chris Livesay, CBS News, Rome.
Next, new evacuations in Southern California tonight as a wildfire burns across some 2,000 acres. The so-called apple fire breaking out yesterday afternoon, exploding overnight, and tonight hundreds of people have been forced from their homes. Here's ABC's Zareen Shah.
Tonight, hundreds of firefighters battling a massive inferno that exploded in size. In just hours, what started as multiple small brush fires is now out of control, covering nearly 2,000 acres and growing. Helicopters and ground crews futilely trying to put out the apple fire as it tears through Cherry Valley, east of Los Angeles. So far, 0% contained.
It is somewhat steep and rugged terrain. It is hard because it's all dirt roads back in there, and one way in and one way out, so it makes it very difficult to get a large amount of equipment in.
At least one home and several other structures destroyed. Tonight, a mandatory evacuation order in place. Hundreds of families scrambling to get out. Evacuees hoping their homes are still standing.
We just got alerted that we have to evacuate right now. It's crazy smoky. We're trying to find a hotel right now. Called several. They're all booked up.
Tom, embers have been coming dangerously close to homes. This one burned to the ground. 400 other homes threatened. Tom?
Zareen Shah following that breaking news out of Southern California tonight. Zareen, thank you.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. And let's get right to it. Major news on the virus, the horrific and deadly explosion in Beirut, and the deadly storm sweeping through several cities right up the East Coast all day today. There are still tornado watches in parts of the Northeast as we come on the air tonight, and more than 3 million Americans without power now in the middle of this pandemic. Hurricane Isaias making landfall as a Category 1 hurricane in North Carolina in the overnight hours. Winds topping 80 miles per hour, and in one location, wind gusts hit 100 miles per hour. The storm igniting fires. Several homes went up in flames in Ocean Isle Beach. The storm has turned deadly tonight. Here in New York City, the damaged trees down. A 60-year-old man was killed when a tree fell on his car. We're also monitoring massive power outages stretching from the Carolinas up to Massachusetts. The close call in Suffolk County, New York. Several people running out of the way as strong winds downed trees in their neighborhood. The storm unleashing a tornado outbreak. That mother protecting her daughter in the bathtub. They survived. A hospital daycare center in Bucks County, Pennsylvania damaged. Several children are being treated for injuries tonight. This system is now a tropical storm. It's racing north across parts of upstate New York and into New England. So we'll have the current track for you and, of course, the damage. And so we begin with our chief national affairs correspondent, Tom Yamas, right here in New York.
Tonight, the winds, rain, and storm surge from Isaias taking lives, carving the East Coast, and hitting major cities in the Northeast as a powerful tropical storm. Trees down across New York City. This one killing a 60-year-old man in Queens.
Strong and damaging winds from Isaias tore through parts of Brooklyn. A line of sycamore trees in this park split in half, the massive branches crashing down and crushing cars below.
The heavy rain quickly flooding roads and trapping drivers close to Interstate 76 near Philadelphia.
They was scared, fighting because she thought she was going to drown.
Outside Washington, D.C., 2 cars with multiple people inside swept off the road, some clinging to trees, one on the roof. Teams rescuing them with rafts and an airboat. No one seriously hurt. And across the Northeast, multiple tornado warnings.
Hurry up, it's right here.
This funnel cloud spotted in Ocean City, New Jersey, and homes throughout this Delaware neighborhood torn apart.
But the really bad part of this area is this house right here. But the whole back house of the house is gone.
I saw the tree lifting up out of the ground. And at that point, that's when I saw the whole back of the house coming off of the property. First thought is, thank God that we're here. God spared my wife, and my boys.
Powerful winds from a likely tornado in Bertie County, North Carolina, flipping cars and splintering multiple homes. 2 were killed, 20 hurt. Tanisha Thomas was home with her daughter.
We made it in the bathtub, and I put my body over hers. That's when it hit. One day at a time.
Did you lose everything?
Everything.
East of Richmond, Virginia, homes knocked from their foundations. Isaias making a dangerous late-night landfall just north of Myrtle Beach as a Category 1 hurricane with sustained winds of 85 miles an hour. Those powerful winds drowning out our Rob Marciano on Carolina Beach. Plus, life-threatening storm surge flooding homes, burying cars in sand, and filling homes with debris. In Oak Island, North Carolina, residents riding out the ferocious winds and surging water in the dark.
House shook. First time I was in a house that ever shook.
Power lines sparking fires on Ocean Isle Beach, multiple homes engulfed, thankfully empty as most had evacuated.